as I make my way. The fact I'm still alive, my claim to fame. It's no surprise I'm on a rise, finna stake my claim. Separate me from the others, cause we ain't the same. Ask my brothers from another, we ain't for play. Time is money, so we got no time to waste. Soon as this thing's moving, it can't be stopped. Blue bands in my pocket, call that juggernaut.
In the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your work sure would help a lot. We should ride together.
You know the stat quo. Finna get a bag, bustin' down that blow. Out of East Side Ho, where they know my name.
You didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
What up? What up? Oh yeah, it's me, Fantasy Football Hustler. We're bringing you FNT here with Bogard in the building. What up, bro?
Hey, I am nearing Disneyland. Can you feel it?
Oh, I could dig it.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Yeah.
I could feel it. And we got the Tyrant making his notorious return to FNT. What up, bro?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Yeah, I know it's been a little while. I was sick, and then the holidays, and then my kid was sick, and then I was sick. Like, dude, it's been crazy, but I'm back. Everyone's healthy. It's all good.
Man, that's great to hear, man, that everybody's healthy. Just want to shout out my brother-in-law out there, man. He was about to go to Disneyland with us, too, but he woke up this morning, wasn't feeling well, found out he has COVID, man. So this shit is definitely out there, man. You know what I mean? It's no fucking joke. You know what I mean? And also, man, pleasure to have you back, Ty. You know what I mean? Happy New Year. Happy holiday.
Thanks. You too, man. You too, and hope your homie gets well soon, man.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. What are we going to start off with today? All right. Well, here's one that's actually kind of cool. So it's pop culture NFL. So Amazon, they're in talks right now of getting a Thursday night football show going. And obviously it'll be next season because there's no football, happening on Thursdays. And Bogey, I want you to guess. I want you to just try to guess who they have in mind for their show. It's someone who's repping the Bay. I'll give you that. I'll give you that hint. It's someone repping the Bay.
It's gotta be Marshawn, bro.
I guess that was too easy of a hint because it is Marshawn.
Yeah, he is the Bay. Hey, listen, he's good television. What is it, son?
Oh man, he's upset over
man,
there.
Listen, screaming at me is not gonna make the iPad magically charge. You know what I mean?
Oh man, that's Noble's. That's his unfavorite thing is waiting for the iPad to charge up.
And then here's the damnedest thing: they try to be on it while it's charging, and I tell them that ain't charging it now; it's just keeping it on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they'll sit there for that's a great lesson in patience. You know what I mean? Because they could sit there for hours on one thing, let alone they can't wait for 5 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To know the what patience is. You know what I mean?
What up, Antonio? Antonio in the building.
Kids, at that age, kids do not know patience. That's a long time lesson there. That takes a while.
We got to have patience to teach them patience because they don't give a fuck about patience.
Right, shit. I'm 40 years old and I don't got that kind of patience.
I know that's why that's why they make the chargers faster and bigger now and shit, so our shit can charge faster.
I mean, listen, bro, we even got the portable joints, like, you know what I mean? Like,
we got 2 of them that we're taking to Disneyland because we're not gonna sit somewhere and just let the shit charge and not be able to move.
And I ain't touching. Like, I'm about to go to Disneyland, and probably the only thing we're touching is our ass to seats and rides and shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, listen, we got the whole. Like, you ever seen that movie, The Cleaner? Sam Jackson. So. He cleans up murder scenes. That's his job.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I'm like the cleaner, bro. You feel me? I'm cleaning everything before we get in that motherfucker.
Don't blame you. Don't blame you, my man.
Yeah. I mean, so check this out, Ty. It's Hustler's birthday tomorrow, and my son has the same birthday. And like, so we, And it just so happens we won a ton of Super Bowls in fantasy, and I was already planning to take my son, but now I'm having more fun telling people, what I mean, I'm going because I just won the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
It's way better.
That's
story,
right, man.
Yeah.
It's like those old commercials, like you just won a Super Bowl. What you gonna do now? Oh, I'm going to Disneyland. Like, fuck yeah, dude. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
They have a green screen ready right there on the side of the field. They'll bring it out for whoever the MVP while he's still in his gear. They get you in front of the green screen. Now that you've just won the Super Bowl, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean?
That's great.
They're on.
I'm going to Disney World.
Right?
Give me a second to celebrate. Goddamn.
I would like to go to Disney World when they have that ESPN thing and it's not just ESPN, but it's like, I know ESPN has like a big week when they do it there, and it's like all the NFL players and their families are going, and tickets are crazy expensive. But how crazy would that be just walking around seeing NFL players, taking their kids on the random rides and shit?
You see, right? Seeing Marshawn Lynch. If I saw Marshawn Lynch one day and he actually had a bag of Skittles in his hand, it's like seeing a unicorn. You know what I mean? Like, he actually got the Skittles in his hand, bro.
It's not just an old wives' tale.
Nope.
What up, Anthony? What's going on, bro? David P in the building. Brazy Brady in the building. What up, bro?
Brazy.
What's going on, Brazy?
And Anthony, he said, "Oh shit!" He said, "Oh shit!" Bogard has his baby. that's not the small one, but every time Anthony,
my baby's grown quite fast. He actually back over there. She's over there lounging in the high chair. You know what I'm saying? He in the cut.
Yeah, Anthony said it's always going to be a good week for his fantasy teams when he sees Bogard with one of the babies.
Oh yeah, hey, it's funny because there'll be some Sundays where, like, if I'm holding the baby and everything's going my way, I just gotta hold her now. Straight. It's like
Demo in the building said patience is like making early fantasy trades, or patient just like making early fantasy trades.
I guess he's opposed to the early trades because, like, I
am too, depending on what it is.
Well, right after I get into the draft, like out of the draft, I'm already looking at spots I didn't like what I did, and I'm already sending out trade offers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because didn't you trade like Najee for CMC like literally the second day that after we drafted?
Yeah, it was like the next morning. Like I started working, and my man's who I traded with, he works graveyard. So I remember, like, it's right after the draft. He's like really pumped about his draft, and I'm just on him like the first night, just sending him hella offers until as soon as he piqued some interest, because he's like, I like Najee. You know what I mean? And it was funny too, is I remember in the draft, I never really get active on the chat board in a Yahoo draft.
Yahoo chats suck.
Yeah, right. But like I remember he was like, I was looking at Najee. I was hoping Najee would fall to me. You know what I mean?
So you knew it right there.
Yeah, you gotta pay attention to that shit. Which is really good live. Like if you're doing like live drafts and shit, it's a lot of fun because like I always do one every year for my league of record. And whenever someone goes up and puts down a name and someone goes, oh fuck, man, I was gonna then I know I write that shit down, dude. I take notes, man. I'll be like, okay,
yeah. I mean, it's the same way. Like okay, you know what's fun about preseason? It's like if you've already drafted and then you still have preseason games to watch. If you have a player that goes crazy in the preseason, like I'm flipping that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like especially like these like first year guys that are like where the preseason means something to them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Like Ramondre Stevenson, like if you had him or some shit, like in before game one, dude, look what he's done. Look what he's doing, dude. Yeah, fucking give me someone, And,
you know what's crazy? Is he was the guy, if you were patient on him, like, you know what I mean? Because he's the guy I picked up and dropped several times throughout the year. I even picked him up during that game, during that preseason game against Carolina, where he put up like 200 all-purpose yards. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because that was, and what was funny is they still had, they still had Sony Michel on the roster too at the time, and so Sony ran with the team ones. Cam was still the starter too, for context, but you know what I'm saying. I remember in one drive they threw the ball 4 times at Sony Michel, and it was like kind of like, hey Rams, he can catch the ball, you know what I mean? And they traded him to the Rams like 2-3 days later, you know what I mean?
They got him. Well, I mean, the Rams got him. Like, really, I mean, it worked out better for them. I don't know what they ended up. What did you remember what they ended up getting?
I think it was a 3rd or a 4th. I mean, it's all they got.
Yeah.
All they got is a bunch of 3 and 4s. They don't have no 1st and 2nd rounds for a while.
Yeah, they gave all those away.
But you know what though? I respect it. They don't give a fuck about that shit. They're like, we give me the players that are already proven. You know what I mean?
What up, Jarrett? Shout out to the Who Dat Nation.
Yeah.
Anthony said Niner Empire. Oh yeah, it's back,
Yeah,
baby. Manny, what up, bro? Let's hit up that 420. I just smoked a bowl. I'm about to pack another one. Get it rolling.
I fucked up. I didn't take it at 420. I usually do.
And John Mack, what up, bro? He said Dolphins are interviewing Dan Quinn. Man, that'd be so stupid.
Okay, hold on. Dan Quinn he's a dog that you can't teach old tricks to. So he's gonna go over there and run that cover 3. I mean, like at most he made some adjustments to it this year, like because everyone in the league is playing like the 2 high safeties, like the shell look or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah.
So we've seen him do that a lot. But outside of that, he's gonna run that cover 3. He has the personnel to do that. Byron Jones and then Xavier Howard, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And then he has some incredible safeties with Javon Holland and then just that front 7 is legit. You know what I mean? So I like that, but I just don't think that Dan Quinn is a great head coach. He had success in Atlanta, and I swear to God, a lot of that was tied to Shanahan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that the Legion of Boom did a lot for Dan Quinn's career. I'm telling you that much.
And if you really deep dive into it, he took over Gus Bradley, who was the architect of the Legion of Boom
for sure.
And then he gets his gig with Jacksonville as a head coach, with Blake, with Blake Bortles, and the rest is history. You know what I mean? But listen, Dan Quinn is a perfect example of someone who's probably best suited in his specific ism. Like he's a defensive coordinator.
He's a DC. He's a damn good DC, but that's it. That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah, he folded as a fucking head coach. Like, that'd be stupid to put him in a head coach position. I mean, it's dumb to mess with anything that's related to the Dolphins defense. Like right now, that's stupid. And I know, the coach firing, I know that was related to it, but man,
they've had the same general manager for 21 years, bro.
Fuck, and they just can't get it right. That's the guy who's snorting blow with the owner. I'm
saying he probably has hella dirt on them. He probably has the drop on all of them, man.
I feel like Flores got the bad rap on that one, though. I don't know.
No, but you know what, though?
How do you have 2 winning seasons in a row? You fall short on the playoffs. I get it. But the team has been ass for so many years.
I know.
I mean, but you know what? Look at a guy like Jim Caldwell, who he won a Super Bowl as an OC with Baltimore. He goes on. He was the coach for Detroit. He got them into the playoffs. Like, but they fired him. You know what I mean? Oh, after like one more losing season, they just got rid of him after a playoff appearance. It's hella funny because people probably don't see it like this, but I think these black coaches, they don't have a long leash. You know what I mean?
No, and there's a bunch of people who see it like that, and there's a bunch of people who are like, "Oh no, that shit's not true. Look at Marvin Lewis," and
Flores is legit. Like, okay, Flores dealt with a lot of injuries to start the year. He dealt with multiple coordinators. Like, you know how when you're in training camp in the preseason, you have players that are playing to get higher on the depth chart. They're trying to show their best. He was doing the same thing with 2 different offensive coordinators. So going into the year, he finally decided who it was going to be because he had 2 OCs. Like the shit he had to deal with. And this is all management. You know what I mean? This is not his doing. You know what I mean? This is all management. Like, I don't know. It's funny, man. A quarterback he didn't want to draft. Apparently he wanted Herbert.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's probably been talking shit to him ever since, like, they picked wrong.
Chris, whatever, Gears, I forget his name, the general manager over there, but like I said, he's been over there for over 2 decades. He don't got it right.
Yeah.
Like, look at this. Okay, he has Tannehill. They draft Tannehill. He was he was what some would say was a project coming out of college. He goes through several different coordinators because they keep firing all these coaches, and then they trade him away, and he's balling elsewhere because they didn't even know what they had. Kenyon Drake, Damian Williams, all their running backs were all, they just don't know what to do with them. They go somewhere else. Damian Williams wins the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Kenyon Drake kills it with the Cardinals. You know what I mean? Like it's so funny. It wasn't just Adam Gase being there, like, okay, whenever Adam Gase leaves, everyone's better. Like I don't know. It's poorly ran. It's poor management.
Definitely, to say the least. Let's see who else is up in here. We got Brazy Brady said, "Yo, Bogey, you making any bets on your Niners to win the conference or Super Bowl? Odds are nuts."
So 2 years in a row, before the seasons, I would just put like 100, or I'd split it with my mans or my lady, because we like doing shit like that. Before season bets.
Yeah.
And this year, I did more props than anything. I didn't do it. You know what I mean? I didn't want to. Sometimes I feel like I'm cursing my team. And to answer the question, I almost never bet on my team. You know what I mean? I'm weird like that.
That's how it goes, though.
Yeah, I mean, I that makes sense because you don't want to like double lose. Lose
When
your
we were
money and your
bad,
team.
when we were bad for years, I'm always gonna bet against us, because then I love them so much that they're winning me money. But when we're good, I like being able to enjoy the just the pure fandom of it. You know what I mean? Because this ain't like this is this goes. I was born into this. You know what I mean? My folks came through the city. You know what I mean? Like this, they were there during the Zodiac shit and the whole Joe Montana experience back in '82. Like it's in my family. My kids are Niners. Like, we don't play good, bad, or good, better, or worse, whatever the saying is. We're through and through, gold-blooded. And I just feel like I just don't like betting on my team because, you know what I mean, it kind of taints it.
Hell yeah. And Anthony said, can we make a bet on Super Draft? I would. So I don't know if you can make bets on them winning the conference or like the Super Bowl or anything, but you can bet on teams to win. Now, you're not betting like money. You're betting like coins or tokens or whatever they have. And the more tokens and coins that you rack up,
redeem.
You cash them out for cash cards, Visa cards, MasterCards, just cash cards. So that's how you do it. Just download, I believe it's the Super Draft Sportsbook, so it's a totally separate app. Manny, what up, bro? Would love to see Flores go to Las Vegas. I'm picking Green Bay versus Las Vegas in the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers, the MVP. That'd be fucking wild if the Raiders kind of rode this momentum for Madden.
That is a bold damn.
I mean,
I'll tell you what.
I mean, they got to be possessed by like the Madden god.
Or what if it's like the sixth man, but in this case it'd be the 12th man, and it's Madden's ghost that is out there like helping him get plays done.
He's out there on the offensive line.
Maybe he's actually been coaching for
How about this?
Maybe that's why they've been playing well. He's actually been coaching. Took over for Gruden. They're not saying anything. It's like his ghost. They just do a seance. He's like there on the field. They don't tell anyone. You can't see him unless you're Sam Darnold. But
It's funny though, because I was saying how last year in the draft, how it was remote and whatnot, right? In 2020. So 2 years ago, I should say. Now I gotta get used to saying that. Anyways, 2 years ago, you know what I mean? It's like, and with the whatever the fuck pick in the first round, the Las Vegas Raiders select Henry Ruggs. And I'm like, yo, if you look closely, you can see them on their screen. They're on a Ouija board, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because they were conjuring up the dead spirit of Al Davis.
That was definitely an Al Davis pick. I thought the same damn thing. Yeah.
He's like, just take the fastest guy, no matter what. It doesn't matter what we need on this team. We need a fast guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
I mean, stupidest pick.
And we're not even talking about high insight. Like, he wasn't good before, like, all this bullshit. I mean, not that he wasn't good, but they weren't using him like
that good.
He was from Alabama. That's really what it is. He's from Alabama, and he's fast as hell. And then you know what they said? This is our Tyreek Hill.
That was their
Right.
worst pick since Darius Hayward Bay.
You know what's funny? If you think about Gruden's time there, all he was trying to do is trying to be the Chiefs. You know what? We got Darren Waller. Hey, that guy, he's a good tight end. You know what I mean? And then they get Harry Ruggs. Oh, he's like a Tyreek Hill type. You know? He's a grinder. Get the fuck out of here.
Or they pick up Mariota to try to beat Mahomes. What the fuck?
Well, I mean, but that's also another version of things too. Like, oh, you know, if we need to go third and short, we know Derek Carr is terrible at QB sneaks. You know what I mean? We're gonna bring in Mariota. You know what I mean? And pay him a decent amount for being a backup. Like, it's just, I don't know. The organization's funny. I don't really bank on them. I mean, maybe Flores looks at that team like they have everything in place. You know what I mean? But I also think, like, when you look divisionally, you're like, I don't want to jump in bed with Herbert and Mahomes. You know what I mean?
And what if Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson or one of those crazy, signings? It does end up happening where they go.
And then look at this.
Denver.
Look at this. Today, I think it's today or yesterday, Nathaniel Hatkins, he was being interviewed by Denver, right? He's the OC from Green Bay. So now I could already hear people like me like, oh, if he gets the job, you know what I mean? He's going to call Aaron Rodgers. He knows his line directly. You know what I mean? Like,
because why not? Like that's like what? Wouldn't that be one of the first calls that he'd be making? All right, yeah. You guys know that you hate Aaron
I thought
Rodgers.
He was going like at the beginning of the season, in the preseason when I thought, he might go somewhere. I'm like, if he goes anywhere, he's going to Denver. It could happen.
Aaron Rodgers still has a massive arm. And he's going to religiously throw like 60-yarders in Denver for sure. Just all day in that elevation.
And his arm won't be hurting from a vaccine shot, so
Yeah, he's had the COVID toe for 2 months now. Nothing's messing with him. All right, let's see. Okay, what else do we got? Okay, well, the Patriots, they're one of the only people who released a practice report. It's not really practice. I mean, it's their walkthroughs or whatever the hell they're doing. They had 12 players.
Are they the Saturday game?
Oh, yeah, they are the Saturday game.
So that's why.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
So let me look and see if we can get the other ones on there from there. So they had 12 guys that were limited. Nobody didn't practice. You got Damien Harris, Kyle Duggar, and Adrian Phillips were the three big names on there. 9 others, their center, handful of other defenders.
Those are all guys. The first 3 names are all guys that this has been par for the course for them all year. Getting the Wednesday limited, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just the Patriots. Like, if you pay attention to Wednesday limiteds, you'll think they're all injured.
Second take extra. What up, bro? We said we need TD and Bogey to in a debate on who will win, the 49ers or the boys.
I will say this is probably the worst team that the Cowboys could play, because we're one of the best teams that they're going to play all year because they've had an ass schedule. They lost to the Raiders, who is a team that I think is really ass. And without 7 seeds, they're not in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Well, we're the Niners are over 500, so
Yeah, we're a 10-win team, and it's funny because I'm on record for saying that we're going to be 10-7, and we're probably at best the 6th seed, and here we are 10-7.
That's exactly what I was saying too, man.
You know what I mean? So
on that schedule.
And we did say that it would take us probably going to take double-digit wins to get out of the NFC.
Yep. And so, when we dropped that game to Tennessee a couple weeks ago, it was looking a little bleak, because it was like, okay, now here we have Lance. He has to beat Houston, and Houston's been kind of pulling off upsets here and there this year. You know what I mean? Not to say that we're some juggernaut, but it was a team we expect to steamroll over. You know what I mean? So we do that. And then, obviously the game against the Rams, which was a thriller, you know what I mean? And granted, Jimmy played well, considering, he's dealing with that injury. So I was really impressed. I do like the fact that Shanahan owns McVay too.
Definitely, because it's all about the matchups, and coaching matchups are huge when it gets down to the nitty gritty like this. And what else we got? Okay, so CBS, they put out their power rankings, And let me see. Shout out to everyone else who's up in here. Chandler just showed up. What up, bro? Yeah, and he said, Chandler said 49ers a +3 dog. As a Cowboys fan, I'm taking that. So
Cool.
you already know it's going to be a close-ass game.
Yeah, I mean he is projecting them beating us by a touchdown, which would be more than the 3 points. I'm surprised we're even getting that much respect, to be honest. Yeah, I mean that's basically a pick 'em.
Yeah,
and it's not like we're division rivals where it's like they're going to give us the respect, but I mean we are a double-digit win team, and I mean listen, it's been a fun story with the Cowboys, bro. But the Cowboys really disappointed me all year. I thought they would be. Maybe it's because their defense was so phenomenal, but if you really look at it, their defense got them out of a lot of trouble this year because their offense went handling. And then you can look at the games against the Eagles where they're sitting all their starters, or Washington a couple weeks ago with all the guys in COVID, or their games against the Giants where they're just running up the scoreboard because those teams are whack. You know what I mean?
To be fair, though, as a Niners fan, the Niners defense bailed them out a lot too. So
yeah, but also Thomas, I want to give a shout out to Thomas, our rookie corner, because ever since Manuel Mosley went out, this guy's been giving up a touchdown every week, and he gave one up last week too. I don't know why they had him on Higbee on that second touchdown pass, but he got the game clinching interception in overtime. You know what I mean? So I will say, hey, man, maybe the kid hadn't learned the hard way, but we do have Mosley back. We got Jimmy Ward back. This is probably the healthiest our team's been.
I know it's dangerous. If I were any team, this would be the team. I mean, even though I'm a Niners fan, I know there's some bias there, but I'm telling you, this is the most dangerous team in the NFC. Hey, who came out of the NFC last year? Oh, the 6th seed to win the Super Bowl? There you go.
Here's the thing. I'm more concerned about the injury, like with Jimmy. But you could tell that the game plan is factored in there. We factor that into our game plan.
Oh yeah. I mean, if Lance has to come in, dude, we'll be all right.
Now I'm not going to throw hate on the Cowboys, but I got to throw some facts on them right now, okay? Because everyone's talking about how they dominated the NFC East. They lost to the Bucks, and they played the NFC South. I mean, the Falcons are trash. The Saints
they played the AFC West too, which they lost to every one of them except for the Chargers. Except for the Chargers.
So
that was a close game too.
And then some of the only games that were mixed in, were like the Cardinals game. Like they didn't play the whole NFC West. But play the Cardinals, they get whooped up, and I mean, I'll say whooped up because the Cardinals were on the road coming off like 3 bad games in a row, and they pretty much
come on, just call it how it is. The Cardinals whooped them up, and most of Dak's production in that game was basically garbage time, or maybe not garbage time. But he was in catch up mode, that's for sure.
And lost to the Broncos and the Raiders at home.
And let's be serious here. Think about it. The 49ers team right now is
David loves it. Blah, blah, blah.
Is a Super Bowl team, but better. So why wouldn't we make it far? I mean, if they're healthy.
Listen, I think everything we do matches up well against them. Their Fugazi, their run defense stats, they're Fugazi. If you look at their stats, it has them as one of the best run defenses. If you really look at their schedule, they didn't play no running backs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're going to run all over them with Debo outside of our running backs as well. You know what I mean? And then they're susceptible to giving up receptions and yardage, even touchdowns to the tight end position. You know what I mean? It hasn't been the most consistent trend all year, but hey, what do you know? We have one of the best tight ends in the game, George Kittle.
Oh, so hey, no. So Chandler said, don't get it twisted. He said he's taking the 49ers, by the way, with the 3 points.
Oh, I love it. Shout out to you. I thought he was talking about. He did say +4,
+3,
+3. I'm sorry. Yeah, he did say +3. I like those odds, man. Like, I mean, it's here's the nightmare scenario that they get up quick on us. And we're not going to be able to shoot it out. Look at the game against the Rams last week. We're down 17-0 all the way to the last seconds of the first half. We kick a field goal, so now it's only a 2-possession lead. So when we come out with the ball to open the half, we can still play the game we want to play. We can still run the ball. It's when we get down more than 2 possessions, that's when you see Shanahan has to bail out and depend on Jimmy. And Jimmy's not dependable. Jimmy's the guy that won't do anything that we need him. Okay, he won't do anything that we don't expect him that he can't do. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's not the guy who's gonna scramble and extend the play. You know what I mean? Jimmy is better. He's a better game manager than anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not going to lose the game, but he's not going to win the game if the game has to be.
Yeah, we don't have that crazy defense to bail us out like 2019 when Jimmy makes those ugly mistakes. I mean, I'm always the one that said I wanted to make shirts winning ugly with handsome Jimmy, because that's how it was when we win with him. He's going to make mistakes. You know what I mean? And this is one of the most opportunistic defenses. You know what I mean? Like, this is that defense. And this is Dan Quinn, who's familiar with Shanahan. They've worked together. That can go vice versa. We can say, hey, Shanahan knows how to attack that cover 3 scheme. He knows how to attack, how to neutralize that aggressive pass rush. But you could also, on the flip side, say Dan Quinn knows how to neutralize Shanahan's offense. I mean, they practice against each other every day in Atlanta for years. So there's other battles here going on besides just the players on the field. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. And not only that, but Jimmy, he'll make some mistakes. He'll probably throw an interception or two. But the defense can bail him out. Debo will bail him out. Dude's like Bugs Bunny, right? He can play every fucking position. That guy, wide receiver, running back. He threw a fucking touchdown in the last game, dude. I'm telling you, Debo. As long as Debo's good, then I think we're fine.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Unmute. And Antonio said the Jets could probably dominate the NFC East if they switch spots with the Cowboys. I'm sure they could, man. The NFC East, especially this year. I mean, the Eagles did pretty good. I mean, they're in the playoffs, only 9 wins though. But yeah, I mean, the way that the Jets looked. Let me go look at the Jets schedule, because they beat some solid teams. I know that for sure.
I mean, we can be. The problem is, our secondary. We can be had in, and if that goes off, that could be a problem. Although we are healthier there now, and so I think we could take it. But if they're gonna beat us, it's gonna be Dak going nuts. Although his head better has to be on a swivel, because that front seven is gonna fucking.
One thing I like too is that
take
if you
over.
If you look at the trend of teams that beat up the Cowboys this year, you look at the Chiefs, it was Chris Jones and Frank Clark up front. You look at the Raiders, it was Max Crosby and Yannick Ngakoue. We got some guys up front, man. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like we're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's going down. Like Tyron Smith and all them, bro, they're gonna have a long day. They're not that offensive line is far removed from 5 years ago being
definitely
a number one line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. After looking up the Jets' schedule, they won 4 games, but 2 of their games were the ones that they won against the Bengals and against the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of teams that were being dominated by those guys all year.
Here's the thing, too. They handily beat both those teams. And what's funny about the Bengals one was because that was the great white hope, White Mike at QB. Remember that?
Right.
On Halloween.
Yep.
Yeah. They busted him up like a pumpkin, bro.
And Anthony said, you see what Debo did to Ramsey? Man, Debo's just a beast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bro. Listen, bro, if you look closely on the replay, after he trucks Ramsey's numbers on his jersey are gone. You know what I mean? He just snatched them up off him, bro.
Dude.
Chandler said, who you guys got, the Rams or the Cards?
I like the Rams.
I think this one's going to be I think the Cardinals might upset. I mean, Kyler's been looking pretty good over the last couple weeks. Like, their play calling has kind of been shit. So it's really going to be like if Kyler can put the team on his back a little bit. I mean, but got J.J. Watt coming back. Their defense is getting a little bit healthier. And I don't know.
I'm
I
gonna
think
go.
I think this one's as much of a pick'em as the Cowboys 49ers are.
Oh, it's going to be a close one. I think it's going to be real tight. In fact, I think it could be even closer than the Niners Cowboys. But
Cooper,
it's going to
Cooper
come down to some
motherfucking
last
Cup.
second shit. But I do feel like the Rams will pull it off,
Cooper motherfucking Cup, bro.
and that's why.
I got him in multiple of these playoff leagues, so I'm hoping they go far. And we already know what Cooper Cup's going to do.
I'm hella annoyed because when I would look in the other jar, I'm like, this motherfucker got him, bro. Hey, no, but look at. I'm gonna go with the guys where most of them have been in this scenario in the playoffs. Outside of Matt Stafford and OBJ, all these guys have mad playoff experience. Ramsey's he's been the distance with the Jags. He's been in the Super Bowl with the Rams. You know what I mean? Von Miller, former Super Bowl MVP. You know what I mean? Aaron Donald, he's played in the Super Bowl. Sean McVay's coached the Super Bowl. Listen, Cliff Kingsbury and all them, it's a cool story, but they're one and done, bro.
I agree.
One and done.
I agree.
What
do you think about?
I feel like the betting public is going to be so much on the Rams.
I don't know, man. The Rams have looked really ugly, though. I don't think so, man. I think.
I mean, with the betting public, we're talking more casual fans. You know.
Yeah, you're right. Well, because see, like, really, if you look at it, like, Stafford's been playing shitty.
Yeah. What do you think?
You know what I'm banking on? Your cookies? Okay. I'm banking on Sean McVay being a whiz kid play caller and opening up the playbook for the playoffs. You know what I mean?
He's gonna have to.
And they'll have Akers to utilize. I think that's going to be very interesting. I think it could be an X factor on the offense.
And I was going to ask you, Tyrant, what do you think's been up with Stafford? Because he's definitely fallen off. Like, Cooper Cup's obviously eating every week, but it's like anytime he throws it anywhere other than the Cooper Cup, you know, it's like a 50-50 ball, if that.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I feel like this has been something we've seen with Stafford. He's good for a while. This might be a symptom of the whole 18 week thing, 17 game deal.
Yeah.
He could just be saving it up for the playoffs. Honestly, I don't worry so much about him. If I'm doing a playoff league, I'm not necessarily picking him up just because I feel like the Rams could get upset early. Not necessarily to the Cardinals, but after that, well, I guess it's not too much of an upset if they lose to Green Bay. But anyway, no, I feel like Stafford is, I mean, we've seen it drop off in fantasy, in reality. And, I think that's a product of just, he gets tired. He's been slinging the fucking ball. Like, I don't know what the average is, but it's up there as far as how many times he's throwing the ball, and things like that. So, I really feel like they've been relying a lot on the run. And it's been working. With Sony Michel, and
look at that,
and
Henderson
when he's in there.
That's another guy. He has Super Bowl experience. You know what I mean? Like, I forgot about Sony Michel.
Yeah. And now they've got Akers there. I mean, I think regardless, Stafford's going to be able to make the plays now that he can make, and they're not going to have to rely on him so much. So I think he'll be okay.
Hey, do we have a Deion? I mean, maybe this is a Wednesday question, or maybe even a Thursday question because they play Monday night. But if DeAndre Hopkins comes back, man, that's maybe things change a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I'm living in a world where they don't have Nuke.
Yeah, I mean, we have no idea if Nuke's going to come back. I mean, he may come back, and they may have to get to the conference championship or something before he would actually be ready to come back.
They haven't activated him off the IR, and just
I don't think he's coming back for this game.
No.
Would you say there's an argument to be made that Kyler Murray's been playing better without Nuke there? Because he went on a little slump there, man, with Nuke in the lineup.
I mean, it could have been. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember
variables to that though,
because the running backs were hurt a bunch, and I can't really remember when the running back injuries started happening. But it was like Edmonds got hurt and was out for like a bunch of weeks. And then like Connor got hurt and Edmonds came back for a couple. And now it's Connor coming back.
Yeah.
I kind of do all right, but I still feel like the Rams will take that game. The defense will want it too much. And I think Bogey's right about the experience. They've got more experience. I do. I think that's going to be the true X factor in that game.
I will say, though, if I had to choose someone who had the it factor, it's definitely Kyler Murray. I know that's something you can't measure, right? But someone who could probably just put the whole game on his back. I can't say the same about Matthew Stafford. I just think that the whole team as a whole, with a coach who has, who people probably don't think he has a chip on his shoulder, but he's lost a Super Bowl before. He's trying to get back. You know what I mean? And they've been doing if you look at all the moves they've made, it shows that they're not playing around. They're trying to win now, like yesterday. You know what I mean? From bringing in Von Miller, bringing in OBJ, trading for Sony Michel after even as little as that seemed. You know what I mean? It was just like, yo, this guy's gonna be able to carry a load. You know what I mean? So they don't have to change their playbook. You know what I mean? Like everything they've done is insane, bro.
And David says Stafford's an interception machine. JC Money in the building. What up? He said, I'm worried about Stafford. All his injuries are catching up to him. I mean, we know his back was all fucked up before. Like, didn't he play that year with like a broken back or something for like half the year?
Yeah.
And then
exactly.
I think it was 2019 before he got put on IR. He was playing with that mankind glove. You know what I'm talking about? Because he had like a fractured middle finger. He was just on his throwing hand, but it looked like a mankind glove. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to all the throwback attitude era. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Antonio said, who's going to be the starting running back there? Connor or Edmonds? They're probably going to steal touches from each other. I don't know if Edmonds is going to play this week.
Yeah, I think he's hurt. Connor's definitely in play. I mean, they're
he didn't re-aggravate anything during the game.
The Rams are another one of those teams. Like their defense, they're not the best against the run, but most teams are playing from behind when they're playing against the Rams. So they're not trying to run the ball; they're just trying to throw it at that super dope secondary. You know what I mean?
Well, me and Manny are on the same side here. He said, "I'm taking Arizona over the Rams."
I like it. I'm taking. You know what's funny is I would be. Here's part of it too. Like I can make an argument for the Cards for sure. Like I just kind of did too, just without even talking any football. Just like I think has that it factor. Like he could just turn against.
Either of those narratives could work, and that's why picking one over the other. It's just experience, and that's why I went with the Rams.
On one of the early Playmaker episodes to close the offseason, we were doing all our predictions. I had the Rams winning the division. I have them going to the Super Bowl. I mean, they also have another one of those cool intangibles where the Super Bowl is in their stadium this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's to me, that's got to be a part of those locker room speeches. Like,
I don't see them getting past Green Bay.
I don't either. I now after I've seen Green Bay operate this year, and then the winner, even if you look at Matt Stafford's numbers in Green Bay, because obviously he played against them for years, his numbers aren't the greatest in sub-zero weather and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no.
So there is that, but I mean, Sean McVay. This is where Sean McVay is going to have to. Hopefully he spent the whole season being able to learn Stafford like limitations. So he can curb his expectations. I mean, because I'm always going to respect Sean McVay because he did it all with Goffle before.
Yeah. Yeah. In spite of
Goffle. Jared fucking Goffle.
Well, I'm telling you, Antonio's on the side, said I'm taking Arizona too. Kyler is going to go into Hollywood on Monday night.
Hey, man,
he's going to be at Disneyland on Tuesday morning celebrating for a couple hours.
Hey,
because that might be.
I'll throw down $5 against all of y'all.
Hey, you think Kyler Murray's tall enough to ride the rides?
He might have to get measured. JC Money Design had to make an appearance. What up, bro?
I just wanted to come in and say my reasoning for why I think the Cardinals are going to win this week. So
I like it. Let's hear it.
If you go by history this whole year, they played twice this year, right? They both had home games this year, right? Well, guess who won those games? Both away teams won those games. Guess who's the away team this week?
Well, speaking in certainty is path to the dark side. Okay.
I like it. There's something that we could talk about a little bit later too.
I forget who it was. One of my buddies, man. I think it was Kev. He was trying to explain to me that the home road splits, the winning percentages, and they're not far off. You know what I mean?
Just as many away teams are almost winning as the home teams. You're saying?
Yeah, I mean, like specifically this year. I haven't looked into it myself, but I remember he had mentioned something to me about that.
That's crazy. Well, I like it. That means we might get a lot of upsets this week. Like the Niners upsetting the Cowboys.
Exactly.
You know,
I see that one more so than the Cardinals.
Okay, you want to know what?
Yeah, man. He said, "There we go." JC Money and Antonio said, "What up, JC?"
Hey, the biggest upset I think would be if the Eagles, bruh.
That would be huge.
Because if you look at Tampa Bay's defense right now, their run defense has been on the decline. Look at Michael Carter just ran all over them a couple weeks ago. You know what I mean?
The other one
all over him, but he still ran on them. You know what I mean?
The other one that I know that the Steelers are really awesome, but man, I mean, if the Steelers somehow beat the Chiefs, like that would be, I mean, those two right there. If the Eagles or the Steelers move on, I mean, I don't think anyone's thinking that those two games are going to go any way other than the Bucks and the Chiefs.
I can't imagine Tom Brady not willing that team past the Eagles.
Yeah, me neither.
It's hard. It's hard to see. I'm not putting money on it.
I'm not putting money on it because from a football standpoint, you know, the Eagles are one of the worst against the tight end. Boom, Gronk is there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I'm
Mike
big
Evans
on Gronk.
Yeah.
Talking about those playoff, yeah.
Do we think Mike Evans can handle Darius Slay, who's been killing wide receivers all year?
And for the and at minimum, at least he'll just Mike Evans can serve as his purpose and take away Darius Slay just by being the guy who Darius Slay is occupied on. You know what I mean?
Damn it! I got Mike Evans in one of the playoff leagues. I need him to do all right.
Well, I mean, you know, one thing what you got going with Mike Evans, no matter who the matchup is on him, is that he's just the guy you can throw a 50-50 to in the red zone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's that guy's. You've seen his stat lines before. It'd be like 2 for 12 and 2 tugs. You know what I mean? Like, but you know, you have the other guys, the Tyron Johnsons, or is it Tyler Johnson? Tyron Johnson, one of them. And then you have, you know, Scotty Miller, who just had a big game. You have these other guys that Brady's gonna have to go back to doing what Brady's done for years in New England. Like, hey man, what's your name? Oh, Chris Hogan. Oh, okay. The world's gonna know your name now. You know what I mean? Like, just
I thought you were gonna hit him with, it doesn't matter what your name is, just catch the ball.
Well, I'm just saying because that's basically probably what he told him.
Scary DFS play, Brashad Perriman.
I mean, if he's getting the snaps, because that's the thing, is he hasn't really been getting the snaps. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh,
like,
Look at this here, though.
They
got 6 targets last game, 5 receptions, 44 yards. And so, you know.
Okay. See, I missed that then. I must have missed that. But I saw Scotty Miller's numbers. I was like, he went crazy. I know the week before that he was coming off the injury, so that's probably why his snaps weren't that great the week before. I'm not mad at Perryman. That's actually shit. I forgot about him, actually.
All right, and just so I don't miss Nick Tab, what up, bro? He said Cowboys have trouble stopping the good run game. 49ers have a good chance. I mean, only being a +3 for the 49ers. I mean, even Vegas is putting this as a pick.
I mean, you know, there's a lot of people that have the Rams as Super Bowl favorites, just as recency bias, us beating the Rams. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, perfect transition right into we're gonna go into these rankings. It's kind of tough to see. Let me just read them all the way off. It's too tiny. So we got this according to CBS, their power rankings. They got the Packers at number 1. They got the Bucks at number 2. They got the Titans at number 3. The Bills at number 4. The Chiefs at 5. The Bengals at 6. The Patriots at 7. The Rams at 8. Cardinals at 9. Cowboys at 10. 49ers at 11. Raiders 12. Eagles 13. Steelers 14.
The Raiders are too high. They should be right before the Steelers. I think the Raiders are the second worst team in this joint.
Did the Raiders beat the Eagles at all? Did they play them?
They lost to the Eagles.
Oh, well, there we go.
They lost to the Eagles this year. Here's the thing. The Raiders need 5 quarters to beat a decent team. You know what I mean? It took them 5 quarters. Like, I'm not going to say the Chargers are one of the best teams at all. They would have been one of the worst teams in this joint if they got in.
Yeah.
And they barely beat the Chargers. You know, it took them 5 quarters to beat the Ravens early on. And that was mainly because the Ravens were just dealing with all the injuries. You know what I'm saying? They had to go to overtime. It took them 5 quarters to beat a Jacoby Brissett-led Miami Dolphins. Like, I'm surprised the Raiders got in this thing. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, yeah.
The Colts really disappointed me. They lost. They beat the Colts, and I think that's just because Carson Wentz is just ass. You
Absolutely.
know what I mean? That ain't like Derek Carr went out there and had a game of his life. Matter of fact, shout out to Hunter Renfrow. Hunter Renfrow.
The fucking Colts lost the goddamn Jags when they had to play to win to get in. I still can't believe that shit. That's fucked up. I knew Carson Wentz was garbage, but Jesus Christ.
He had a 0.4. He had a 4.2 or something like that QBR rating.
Yeah.
4.2 or some shit like
Carson's cavalcade of crap came back at the wrong time.
Yeah, he was definitely Wentz. He was definitely Carson Wentz.
Definitely Wentz. Absolutely.
He's been Wentz for a minute now.
Oh, God, yeah.
So what do you think about the top 4 teams that they have there? Packers, Bucks, Titans, Bills. I mean, obviously, Packers and the Titans, both the teams that are moving on. You think the Bucks and the Bills are a lock to move on this week?
I think it's tough to beat Belichick twice in a year. I think it's tough to beat him twice in a year.
I think that's scary. But
because
I still think the Bills, but that is a scary one.
But I still like the Bills. I like the Bills here. I think the last time, like, if they might have beat them twice, bruh. If you think about it, they might have beat them twice, but it was the fucking crazy ass snow game. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then they handled the Patriots nicely. They obviously couldn't stop the run. You know, Devontae Harris, what's his name? Damien Harris had 3 touchdowns that game. Like, you know, that's their Achilles heel is not being able to stop the run.
Yeah.
But hey, how do you defuse that? Score hella points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, I could see them coming out with a real massive aerial assault attack as usual, because that's what the Bills do. You know what I mean? They're going down the field.
If it's here's the thing, if it's a close game, I'm thinking like the Patriots can pull it off. If the Bills have a chance, they're gonna need to fucking score and score fast and score big. And I think they can do it. They absolutely can. I think they've been saving it up. The whole Josh Allen to Diggs connection. I think it's gonna come out now in the playoffs. I see it happening.
Because if we remember last year, Week 16. Josh Allen, I mean, in the fantasy championships, man, they torched New England. Mm-hmm. They torched New England for like 3
touchdowns on them, I think. And 3 of them went to Diggs.
3 of them went to Diggs. Like, I remember they went crazier than any other game. And like, what if that was their Super Bowl? They, you know, like they knew that they weren't going to go up against the Patriots because they were already too far. I mean, I think they might have been in it, but if they won, they like knocked them out of contention or something last year, or something like that.
The Patriots were already out of it. At that point, they're already mathematically eliminated. But it don't matter, man. Everybody wants to go and destroy the Patriots. You know what I mean? Because they've been dominant for years. It don't matter if they're like, there's no more Tom Brady. They just look at it like, we beat up the Patriots. You know what I mean?
Well, and then they smell the weakness with that rookie. Although, you know, he can do things sometimes.
You know what is crazy about this kid is that he's not a stranger to these big spots. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so I'll give the kid that. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to say that I've seen enough to believe that Mac Jones can shoot it out with anybody, but there has been a number of games where he had to throw the ball like over 45 to 50 times and actually put up 300-yard outings. And it's not like this secondary is great outside of their corners because their corners are phenomenal. But not their corners, their safeties. They have one of the best safety tandems, but their corners are ass. You know what I mean?
Well, outside of fantasy, I'd say that Mac Jones has, done things like he's made plays that he's needed to make, in for real football. So, if it's like I said, if it's close, I do worry about the Patriots taking that one.
And Ice Booing said KC versus Packers in the Super Bowl. I mean, that was the one that I said a couple weeks ago when we had our playoff and Super Bowl predictions.
This is one that I flip flop every week because it's just I just don't know who I want to see. I obviously with my Niners in the postseason, I would love to see them in it, but it's not just a thing where I don't want to jinx it, but I just how about this? Let's play that game. Let's say it's Niners and the Packers in the NFC Championship. Jimmy's injury in the cold weather, that's crazy. You know what I mean? We've already seen Russell Wilson and other guys that have the same type of injuries in this cold weather and be massively affected. So I just, you know what I mean? I just don't see my Niners going all the way, but I do like the idea of Bengals and Packers now. Or Bengals and the Rams. I want an unprecedented shootout Super Bowl. We've had a couple of those in the last 10 years. The Eagles, Patriots, Falcons. I mean, these have been some higher scoring. Even the Niners, Chiefs, which is the one I was trying to avoid bringing up, but even that one shot out. You know what I mean?
I see either the Bengals or Bills actually making it from the AFC personally. And, as far as the NFC goes, Packers could make it. But that's the tougher one to call, I think. Anything can fucking happen on that side of it. I really do. Niners could fucking surprise everyone. The Rams could fucking go. The fucking, the Cardinals could, dude, anybody from the NFC. I think with the AFC side, you're looking at, I think it's Bills, Bengals, or Chiefs, but I really feel like it's Bills or Bengals.
I do love the Stallion. I love the Stallion. I'd love to see the Stallion go to a Super Bowl. That would be awesome too. I mean, the Patrick Mahomes thing, that's cool. You know what I mean? We've seen that already. Maybe I'm just.
This is hilarious. Chandler, he said, I kind of want to see my Cowboys lose early because I don't know if I can handle another loss to Aaron Rodgers down the road.
I thought about this too. It's Green Bay. Okay. Rodgers was actually saying today on the McAfee show, he was like, I hope we get to the NFC title game and I hope it's bad weather. You know what I mean? That's part of the element of going there.
Oh, yeah. And Manny said if D. Henry 100%, that changes a lot too. Yeah, I mean, if he's really good to go, that's going to change a lot of things. And Antonio said better to face the Packers later. They always find a way to choke in the playoffs.
As far as Derrick Henry goes, I agree. And I mean, if he is 100 and he's coming back off of that, he's healthy, that could be a game changer. However, I still feel like it's going to come down to them and the Bengals, and in that game, I think the Bengals will take over. I think there's just so much firepower. Of course, that all depends on barring injuries, of course. But I feel that they can just fucking light it up at any moment, and that's what it takes in the playoffs. The defense wins championships. Yeah, I get it, but lately it's been a lot of those high-powered offenses that are getting the job done. So I like the Bengals against. I think they'll move on, and I think it's going to be Bengals and Titans, and I think Bengals will beat them.
Yep. Chandler said Patriots are +4 against the Bills. Yeah, it's hard to bet against Belichick, but I said the same thing about Saban for last night. Yeah, because you never know. These teams are still different. It doesn't. I mean, they can outcoach a lot of people, but if there's better talent on the field, sometimes that prevails too.
You never know. Your best player on the field might go out with an ACL tear.
Damn,
Why
JC
anything
Money.
can fucking
Yeah,
happen.
why do you
Don't
bring
put
these
that shit in the
things
universe,
out in the
man. What the
universe,
hell?
man?
I was just talking about last night.
Well, yeah,
You
let's
guys
why? Why?
Damn it, JC Money.
David, what up, bro? What up,
Last night's
Hess?
game. That's
What
why you
up,
can't be
Hess?
that's the reason that Bama lost. They lost their best receiver. And they had all the receivers they were playing with were guys that are like have never had they don't have like any experience.
This is why every blue chipper or whatever you want to call them should just not even play in these stupid ass bowl games.
Yeah, I feel bad for Williams because he's gonna lose his draft capital is gonna drop extremely.
Yeah, but then he'll end up somewhere like the Steelers or
Right.
the Chiefs, or because they always find these third round guys and they get them at a value. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Brady, okay, when we were talking about the Patriots, said single digit temps and a chance of snow could make it quite interesting. 5 to 14 degree weather and a 30% chance of snow. That would definitely make it interesting. And Chandler said people are sleeping on the Bengals. Joey B, Chase Higgins is leading passing game. Yeah, I don't think anyone's sleeping on them anymore. I think a lot of people think they're making it to the conference final.
And for what it's worth, they can run the ball. You know what I mean? Like, that's another thing in these playoffs. Like, you got to be able to run the ball, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we already know Sir Mix-a-Lot, Joe Mixon, out there killing it. And Anthony said, who you think's winning, the AFC or the NFC? I mean, it's tough to predict that. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say the AFC is gonna win it this year.
I don't know. That's hard to tell.
And Brady said the Titans are heavily slept on here. They've done everything with no offensive weapons for long stretches. Yeah, I mean, they were without Henry and A.J. Brown for a while, and those are really their only offensive weapons.
It's just a bad matchup for them when they go up against the Bengals. That's all I'm saying.
Assuming the Bengals win.
Then that's true.
You know what, man? The Raiders, they can't stop the run. Joe Mixon had a big game against them last time, or a decent game, I should say.
Yeah.
I really like the Bengals.
They're not even going to need Burrow and they don't even have a bad defense either. They're not even going to need Burrow to light it up against to beat the Raiders, I don't think. And so I think he'll be able to do it against the Titans, and they're vulnerable against the pass and shit. So I think, I like this. I'm saying.
I'm not trying to be. I mean, I'm just being devil's advocate more than anything.
Oh, I totally get you. I know you're right. I mean, if anything can fucking happen. We're just pulling this shit out of our ass and like telling what we feel. But
shit is different now with Waller back. Like, they haven't had Waller, the entire season. Now he's back, and I mean, last week was first week. He didn't do that great, but being out there, that opens things up more. Like, no matter what.
And he matches up well against them because the Bengals are ass against the tight end. You know what I mean? They're basically ass over the middle of the field. It's probably because they actually have a fairly aggressive front four. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And their secondary is just really good. I mean, I don't know what it is, but teams have trouble throwing deep on them.
You're talking about the Raiders, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they it's funny. They were them in Seattle for a while. Had a stretch of not giving any touchdown receptions up to receivers.
Yeah.
Until Patrick Mahomes came through.
Well, that's different. All right, let's see. And wow, man, Brady FanDuel said same Antonio did my 5 to win 150 on FanDuel. Oh, man, lost my bet on Alabama. Oh, damn it. That sucks. And Anthony said, how many times has the NFC
9,000 points on that bitch?
Yeah, on Alabama?
I lost them. Yeah.
Damn it.
It was to win like 3,700 or 37,000 coins, though.
Yeah. Let's see. Anthony said, how many times has the NFC West been to the Super Bowl in the last 15 years? Let's see. Let's see.
Dude, why you don't talk to him like that?
NFC West has the most Super Bowl appearances of any division over the last 15 years.
I mean, look at the Seahawks, all but the Cardinals, actually, and the Cardinals. Going back 10 years, every one of us have been in that joint.
Yeah.
The Niners were in there twice in the past 10 years. Rams have been in there once in the past 10 years. The Seahawks obviously was in there twice.
We got to peel back one more layer.
One more year, and then the Cards were in there, 2009.
So we got to peel one more layer of this onion. They also hold the worst Super Bowl record of all divisions with 1-6 over those last 15 years.
Yeah. I mean, bring it up.
That's true.
I think the Seahawks are the only ones who have won one in the last 15 years out of all of us.
Well, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. The 1-6, you're right.
The refs like the AFC, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's so funny. We're playing. It's already bad enough that we're playing the best division in football. Yeah, you know what I mean. That we can't even win the big one.
Yeah. All right, and Chandler said Waller was an elite decoy last week. That he was. Maybe it was just to get him getting back in and running. You know, because
he was just taking away Derwin James, basically.
Yeah, which is big.
Yeah.
Nice. And Brady said, but I hit my 5-leg parlay in basketball at 8:06. Pretty cool, I suppose. I mean, hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Is.
5 games,
hell yeah.
5 legs. Listen, bro, hitting 3-leg joints is already difficult. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. You get 5 in there. Yeah. Plus 8:06. Give Brady money. And Antonio said NFC West is the best division in football, and it's not even close. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've been saying this all year. I mean, if they could get 4 teams into the playoffs, I mean, most years all 4 teams would be like competing, you know, for those spots.
You know what's crazy is early on, you could have said the same thing about the Steelers because early on everybody was like 6-5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like not early on, I should say, like, you know, going into week 11, motherfuckers was like all 6-5. It was insane. Like, damn, like, you know what I mean?
All right, I'm out of here. I'm about to lose service where I'm at. So I'll see you guys in like 45 minutes for the basketball show if anybody wants to come on.
Yeah.
Later, JC. See you around, man.
Jesus
Later,
Christ,
y'all.
money.
Peace out, bro.
Take care, brother.
All right. Well, I think it's a good time to wrap it up. We got through everything. We got through everything that we needed to get through. So why don't we just do some outros and get up out of here? Tyrant, why don't you let him know?
Hey, yeah, you know, you can find me at Fantasy Tyrant on YouTube. I'm let's see, what is it? Fantasy_Tyrant on Twitter. You know, I've got actually a show coming out tomorrow. It's end of year fantasy show. You know how like a lot of fantasy shows have their award shows, like the Rookie of the Year, or, you know, Player of the Year. Shit. No. There's enough of those. We all know who those guys are. It's all predictable. No. How about Asshole of the Year? How about batshit insane performance of the year? Shit like that. Yeah, that's what you're gonna find on my award show, the first annual Fantasy Tyrant Awards. That's coming at you tomorrow. So you know, look for that. Fantasy Tyrant on YouTube.
Hell yeah. And you guys already know where to find Bogard. The earth is his turf, and give him some money, damn it. And man, we got 12 playoff leagues going. Shout out to everyone who's in those leagues. We got a bunch of drafting going. If you guys aren't on Super Draft Pro, just go to fantasyfootballhustler.com, and I got all my links. Go follow me everywhere. Super Draft Pro is one of the top ones. If you want to get on Super Draft Pro right now, just go to sdhustler.com. That's the other way that you can get there. And go join up on Patreon. And that's it's in the Fantasy Football Hustler link, or just go direct to patreon.com/ffhustler420. You get first crack at the Hustler leagues. I mean, we're not doing any playoff leagues right anymore, but we got the what's it called, dynasty leagues that are starting right after the Super Bowl. We got the playoff squares that are going right now. So go get in there. You guys want to get involved in all this. It is super fun. And Brady said, keep it up, Tyrant. You're a dope co-host. Definitely need more collabs.
Hey, yeah, we got some things coming. In fact, you'll see.
Oh, yeah, it's in the mix. And peace out, Chandler. All right, guys, we're out of here. We'll see you. So we will not see you tomorrow. We're going to Disneyland. It's my birthday. It's Bogard's son's birthday, and he's
Happy
going
birthday.
to. Yeah. So we're going to be getting, David P. You the man, bro, right on the way out. Appreciate the super chat, bro. And yeah, so we're going to be there tomorrow. I'm going to try to live stream. I just don't know if we're going to do a whole hour or whatever. We'll probably do something when we're just walking around, but definitely going to be tapping in with you guys. So we'll see you later, and we'll see you sometime tomorrow. It's not sure what time. And tap back in for JC Money Design Show. It starts in like 35 minutes. They're breaking down the basketball lineups for Super Draft Pro, getting us some money. All right, guys, we're out. Peace.
Peace.
As I make my way, the fact I'm still alive, my claim to fame. It's no surprise I'm on a rise, finna stake my claim. Separate me from the others, cause we ain't the same. Ask my brothers from another, we ain't for play. Time is money, so we got no time to waste. Soon as this thing's moving, it can't be stopped. Blue bands in my pocket, call that juggernaut.
Anywhere in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your work sure would help a lot. We should ride together.
You know the stat quo. Finna get a bag, bustin' down that blow. Out of East Side Ho, where they know my name.